everyone, I'm Crystal from Mindful Expressions. Thank you so much for joining me here today on this mini class. I wanted to take a moment and talk about burnout. Hands up, who's felt burnout in their world? So I'm a mom of 3. I also teach mindfulness meditation, self-regulation to children and families through our program at Mindful Expressions. So the biggest thing that we've noticed as we move through this transitional world that we're in each and every day is we are feeling, and hopefully I can speak for the collective here, overwhelmed. Little bit of burnout, a little bit of frustration. How are we moving through this new world? And what can I do to give myself that love and compassion, that connection within to move through this a little bit easier and regulate my system? So my story is I used to run a multi-age program, which was 10 hours a day with 8 children. This for me was extremely hard as I moved through each and every single day, 7:30 to 5:30. I mean, you can all put up your hands because some of you work in childcare centers. Maybe they're bigger centers and you have multiple staff, a lot more children, but you might have little mini breaks throughout your day. So imagine being in a multi-age center. I didn't have these breaks throughout the day. So here I am trudging along. I'd have a sub come in for a couple hours a week, and that was it. So 10 hours a day, I'm tired. The kids are going down for their nap time, and this is time for me to clean up and prep for snack and prep for lunch and prep for art and prep. At the end of the day, I was going home extremely exhausted. I was frustrated. I was sputtering over like a tea kettle, not really happy with the world that I had created that I was living in, and second guessing, what the heck have I just done? I just built this center and there I am trudging through, and it's not a beautiful scenery for me. At the end of the day, my family is lacking because I'm not present, I'm not happy, and I'm a grumpy mummy. So I wasn't listening to the connection within myself. I wasn't listening to that, that chatter saying like things need to change. You're not honoring yourself. What are you going to do? So it wasn't until I actually ended up becoming super sick with celiac disease, and not understanding that everything on the inside of myself was a direct reflection of what was happening outside. And that until I really cleaned up my insides, energetically or physically or emotionally or spiritually, however you want to look at, I wasn't able to shine out and be that passionate, happy educator and, happy mommy that I used to be. So what did I do that was different? With some guidance, I was able to really learn how to connect within myself. So that's step number 1. It is scary, it is daunting, looking at myself in the mirror and understanding that I am enough and I deserve more for myself. So this connection piece, even as simple as learning how to breathe, was all new to me. I knew it, but I wasn't doing it, if that makes sense. So a lot of the time we see this in ourselves. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. But are we truly doing it? Are we truly embodying this practice to allow ourselves to connect within? And as we mentioned, when we're able to connect within, we are then able to connect with others. So there I was, living this numb life where I'd wake up every morning and I would teach and I would be this caregiver and we would be doing these amazing things, and I was utterly exhausted. I would come home and I didn't want to do anything. I was numb. Wasn't happy, wasn't sad, wasn't mad. I mean, I'd be sputtering sometimes and lashing out of like anger because I wasn't truly honoring those feelings that I was feeling. I wasn't truly honoring that connection piece. Okay, so connection, number 1. What are some things that we can do to connect with ourselves? I mean, there's this whole self-care piece, and we're not really going to get into too much of that. But the number 1 thing that really helped me throughout my day is my breath. Now, I could be sitting at the kitchen table. I could be sitting in the bath. I could be sitting on the couch. I could be sitting at a red light. I could be sitting in my car. And the one thing that was true to me was my breath. So I started to put these little bright sticky notes all around my house that said, just breathe. Okay? So whatever breathing technique that you like to do, if it's just intentional 4 breaths in, or 4 seconds in and out. Or if you're doing things like your box breathing, which some of you have been practicing, you can breathe in, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be you're teaching your children about box breathing and you want to bring in some triangle breaths. That's good too. So this one is in and hold, 1, 2, 3, and out, and hold, 1, 2, 3, and repeat. I also have a fun one that you can also do with your children, and this one is like the infinity sign or the figure 8 breath, and I made this my little bow breath to make it fun for the children. So this one here, you can start in the middle, and as you go around breathing in, you come back and you hold, and then you breathe out, and you do it again. One of them that I didn't draw out was a circle breath. So I use this with my youngest, and she tends to get some frustration going on, and sometimes I just start doing my breathing, or I'll take a deep breath in and out, and she will mirror me. She will mimic me because she can see what I'm doing, and then she remembers, oh, I can use my breath to calm my body down. So this one, I get her to fill up her lungs super big, and we make a big bubble face. So we inhale, and we hold, and then when she's ready, we pop the bubble, and we bring it in, and we hold, and we pop the bubble. So making it fun. So for me, I stick to the box breathing, wherever that is. With my children, I bring in the shapes. I bring in scarves where we can hold the scarf up and we can blow the scarf away, keep the scarf off the ground, make it fun, playing maybe blowing bubbles. A lot of those things are fun for children. They don't recognize that they're actually regulating their system. You're regulating your system too at the same time. All right, so when we talk about breath, that's one way of connecting with yourself. The next way of connecting with yourself is doing a mini grounding technique. So in the morning, I do this, and I'm just gonna bring you through it quite quickly, where it doesn't have to be this, okay, I need my pillow, I need my relaxing music, the temperature needs to be right, I need to be super relaxed. I set my intention, do my grounding, and put my protection on me each and every single day, and I do it in a state of, it's now just a habit. So if I'm in the shower and I'm washing my hair, I will do this technique, or before I come out of my bed in the morning, I will just set my intention, do my grounding and my protection. So here's how it goes. And again, we're just gonna move through this. You can go at whatever pace you want when you've picked whatever technique you're going to stick with and try it for a week. And again, I'm gonna give you a bunch of information and you're gonna walk away going, ah! However, just pick one thing. Just pick one thing and stick with it. Then come back, rewatch it again, maybe pick a second thing. I'm just obviously dumping a bunch of information onto you and you can choose how you want to move through it. But my suggestion is just pick the one. So we're all going to close our eyes with our feet planted on the floor. And I'm going to bring you through my quick little grounding technique that I do each and every day. So we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And again, in through our nose and out through our mouth. And I want you to vision this beautiful ball of light, whichever color you want it to be. And for this exercise, I'm going to use the color purple because it's my favorite. And I want you to envision this beautiful ball of light circling the center of your body. Now we're going to breathe this colorful energy up to the top of our head and breathe it down to our feet. And we're going to breathe it up again. And we're envisioning it, breathing it down to our feet. Now when this beautiful, bright, colorful light goes to the bottom of your feet, I want you to extend the light out the bottom of your toes, rooting it down into the earth, deeper, deeper, and deeper, down, down, until you can wrap around the strongest root or rock, whichever color of your choice, whichever thing of your choice that is deeply rooted in the earth. We're going to bring that colorful ball of energy all the way back up, breathing it up, breathing it up again, back up into the center of your body, and we're going to breathe the color up through the top of our crown and extending this color all the way up, shooting it up to the brightest star and wrapping it around, and then bringing that color all the way back down through the crown of our head. Breathe that color back into your body, pushing it down to your feet. Again, breathing it up to your head and breathing it down to your feet. All right, wiggling our fingers and our toes, slowly opening our eyes. All right, that was just under, I don't even know, maybe a minute and a half. So sometimes if I have the time, I do that grounding. Sometimes it's as quick as me closing my eyes, visualizing my color energy shooting down into the ground, wrapping around the roots, coming up through the top of my crown, wrapping around my star. So I'm tethering myself as above as below. I'm tethering myself. And then at the end, I envision this beautiful protection bubble that goes around me. Now, having that quick moment, setting your intention of grounding your energy, raising your energy up, you're wrapping around your brightest star and you're anchoring yourself. Protection over, it could be white sparkles, it could be blue sparkles, whatever your protection is. If it's light, if it's sparkles, if it's glitter. Clearly I like the sparkly and the glitter stuff, but it's setting that intention of grounding your energy. And you can do this work with your children as well. I like to play a little game with my children, which is called planting your tree. And I get them to stomp their feet. So this act of body movements and them stomping their feet actually is bringing their awareness to their feet and grounding their energy. So I'll get them to stomp their feet and plant their tree. And then I get them to grow your roots down to the ground, wrap them around a big stump, whatever it is, rock, you can make it all up. And then I get them to be a strong tree, and then they reach up high and touch the sky, right? So then you get their bodies moving and their leaves are moving and their feet are planted to the floor, so their energy is intentionally grounded in. And as we are swinging like our trees and we're moving our bodies and we're doing our breathing up and down, sometimes all the leaves fall off and the leaves fall down on us, and that's our protection. That visualization, whatever it is. So you can bring in fun grounding songs or energy to help the children. They don't know what it means to ground our own energy, or, the act of owning our own energy is actually what it means to ground our energy. So they don't know that. They don't need to know that. I mean, some of the children just want to play and they just want to do do the song, do the dance. So this allows you to incorporate some of those mindful moments and practices into these techniques when you don't even really realize that you're doing it, and you're planting your roots with the children as well. So another thing that we can work on is doing some sounds. So if your child or yourself and you're really angry, you can grunt, moan, scream, whatever it is to get it all out. So my oldest, she is turning 10 and she's been having some frustration build up. And she doesn't know where it's coming from, and we don't need to know where it's coming from, but it's there. So I always encourage her and I ask her, where is it sitting in your body? Where are you feeling that emotion? And a lot of the times she's feeling it in her chest, where a lot of us hold it in our shoulders or hold it in our chest. And I've been getting her to do some pillow screaming. So I'm upstairs sometimes and I'll hear her just let her rip in her pillow. And my partner, he's like, what's happening down there? And I'm sitting there going, yes, she is using these techniques to exert that. So if you were just to take in a big deep breath right now and let out an anger roar, How does that feel? Deep breath in. Maybe a silly noise. I'm telling you, your spouse, your partner, whoever's looking at you might think, what is she doing? But it feels good. And imagine these children doing this work as well as they're feeling tense or frustration or super happy. Let's exert that energy. Let's express that energy. Let's bring it out of our bodies so that we can feel it, we can hear it, we can see it, and then we can release it. All right? No, I'm giving you a lot of information, but just pick and choose one thing that you want to work on. Okay, the other thing I wanted to touch on is, setting boundaries. So I know as a busy mom or busy caregiver, I don't have a lot of time to myself. So I'm finding unique ways of maybe I'm taking that extra 5 minutes in the bathroom, or maybe I'm coming downstairs. I've just recently moved our laundry downstairs. So now it's quiet. It's almost like a forced timeout because I do need to fold laundry. It's the one thing that piles up. So I come downstairs and I'm able to have those quiet moments. But sometimes we're not able to have the quiet moments when the noise is happening all around us. So I tend to do a bit of a visualization of creating this imaginary bubble, which is like my quiet bubble, where I can just put it over my head and try my best to block everything out and just take that 30-second time out to do my deep breathing, or just nobody can touch me, I'm touched out, I'm just in this bubble and I'm recharging. If that is just doing a visualization, if that's doing some breath work, if that's setting the intention just to calm my nerves, whatever it is, setting that intention. There could be crazy things happening around you and you see that sticky note and you're able to just have that quick breath, you're going to reset and you're able to connect again within yourself, to then be able to connect with others. Let's see here. Breath work, puppets. You want to meet my puppets? I got a little cheat sheet of notes here that I've been following for you all. So I bring in some puppets into the program where we teach certain things with each puppet. So this is Mr. Mustachio, and you can choose anything. It doesn't have to be a puppet. You could choose a stuffed animal. You could choose a toy. But if you reference some of these teachings, when you have a prop, my experience is the children listen more to the stuffy or the puppet than they listen to me, and that's okay. But Mr. Mustachio, he comes out and teaches some breath work and self-regulation to the children. As he breathes, the children breathe with him. Should we do a breath together, Mr. Mustachio? Okay, so in through our nose, out through our mouth. And Mr. Mustachio likes to tell our friends how it helps his body, how his body is more calm when he's able to breathe. So we like to bring in some puppets to teach mindfulness to children. We have a couple more. This is Serge. He's our singing puppet. He likes to come in and sing songs. And this is Trixie, and she's our adventure puppet. So she likes to come out in the garden or when we go on hikes and walks and stuff like that. So those are a few of the props that we've brought in as far as puppetry goes. Now, as we know, sometimes sound allows us to raise our vibration as well and change the frequency in the room. So if you have a sound bowl or just a stereo to put on a freeze dance, whatever it is, you can move and flow with the energy of the room or the children that you are with based on what's happening. So I like to bring in, I have a happy drum, which some of you have or might not have or know of. And this is a different toy. This is a Zen energy little chime that I have. And what I do with this or the happy drum is I allow the children to first connect with themselves through their breath. And I'll do a little exercise so you can kind of reflect on that little mini 1 minute and what it can do to change the frequency and the vibration in the room. I also have a little heart tuner, it's a little flute that sometimes I blow, and that allows the intention of our breath to go directly to our heart. So what I explain to the children is, teacher has this wonderful little instrument, and we are going to focus on our breathing and our listening ears. So who here can show me their ears? I get them to show me their ears. And I always say to them, sometimes if we can't hear, we have to pull out the carrots or what else is in our ears, and I make it fun for them and engaging so they can tell me what's stuck in their ears. So now our ears are turned on. I get them to show me their breath, deep breath in, deep breath out. Or I get them to show me a funny breath, deep breath in and out, whatever they want to do. Then I get them to focus on closing their eyes and doing their breathing. And what I say to them and what I'll say to you is, everybody close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you continue to breathe, I'm going to play a little noise. And what I would like you to do is keep your eyes closed as you're breathing. And when you hear the noise stop, so when the sound stops, I would like you to slowly open your eyes. Okay, deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And slowly open your eyes. Now what happens is they're focusing in on the chime. They're focusing in on their breath. So it allows them to just pause for a moment. I'm going to play the chime again because that last twang didn't really work very well. So as you can imagine, as we're breathing and we're listening and then we hear the sound, it almost clears our mind. So let's just do that one more time with a stronger twang here. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Focusing on your breath. Deep breath in and out. And as you hear the sound, as you're breathing, I want you to listen to the noise. And when the noise stops, and only when it stops, you can slowly open your eyes. So deep breath in, deep breath out. And when you hear the sound stop, you can slowly open your eyes. So I already feel inside of me a sense of calm. It was like this mini break. Takes maybe 30 to 60 seconds. And it also can shift the energy in the room. Maybe things are just super crazy and you just come out and play your chime, and I guarantee you everyone's going to kind of stop and look at you. Because for one, they want to play the chime. And for two, they know that that chime can allow them to feel this goodness and this regulation inside. Okay, I've also got down some meditation, so some guided imagery, some audio for children and as well for yourself. So meditation doesn't need to be, again, super rigid where you need to be in this space, it needs to be guided. You could just literally sit there with your eyes closed and connect with yourself. The children around you can sit there with their eyes closed and connect within themselves. I like to bring out some guided imagery stories with the children, and I just make them up. So before the class starts, I'll ask them, what do you want to hear in your story today? They might say green frog, red turtle, whatever, and I bring them along this journey of discovering with their imagination. And meanwhile, they're laying down, and maybe I come around with a little pom-pom or a stone or something, and I balance it on their body. So the fun part about it is they're laying there and they're taking their deep breaths in, they're focusing in on their breath. Now they've got this thing on them, so they're laying there and they're focusing. And then when the voice comes in as I'm speaking, you can literally see them fidgeting, and it's okay to fidget because they've got these little busy bodies, but you can see them when they sink in and they're really imagining with their mind, and they're basically on this little journey, a guided story. And that allows us to really connect with our higher self, but allows them to go on this journey with their imagination. I remember in grade 3, we would have story time, and we wouldn't sit there and read a book. We would all lay on our mats and imagine the story in our minds. And that just allows that creativity part, but also that connection piece to form and develop. Now, I mentioned a little bit about, well, a bunch of these techniques, and I wanted to touch on some habit stacking. So a lot of the times we want to bring in some of these things into our world, but we don't know when we're going to do it. So certain things that you do each and every day, you brush your teeth, use the washroom, you drive your car, we haven't been driving very much lately. What are some things that you do each and every day, and how can you tack on some of these things on top? So maybe it's before you go to bed, you're reading a story with your children. So you're already reading that story. It's something that you do every single day, and you just want to incorporate some breathing exercises into their routine before they go to bed. It's going to calm the nervous system. It's going to help them self-regulate. Whatever it is, you can stack some of these strategies and techniques on top of something that you're already doing. So it's not like a huge shift in your world, but you're picking that one thing that you're going to incorporate into your daily life. Also getting out into nature. So huge component, using the earth, Mother Earth, her vibration to allow us to regulate. So some of the things that I like to do with the children when we're out walking is just sitting down on the ground or taking off our shoes, connecting with the earth, hugging trees. That's always fun. Collecting a little bit of nature that may have been fallen that's already on the ground and create some art with that. Connecting with the nature, the outside, unplugging from the devices will also help your children regulate. I know a lot of the times it's super easy to just pop on a show and then you notice the behavior is happening. You're like, why is my child so frustrated and why are they acting out as soon as I turn off the TV? Right? So these are some of the things where we want to bring awareness to. Do I completely cut screen time out of my family? No. Am I mindful about it? Absolutely. But I do notice a pattern that when I take them away from that device because they're fully in control of what's happening and I bring them back into the real world, I see these behavioral challenges happening, and I know that I need to do less screen time and bring them outside and connect more with nature so that they can connect with themselves. So I hope some of these strategies and techniques will help you along your way, and maybe it's inspired you. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you, because I know that if you're a parent or a caregiver or passionate educator, whatever your title is, that you have been working super hard in this world. And if you can incorporate some of those techniques so that you can regulate as a parent or caregiver, ultimately your children are regulating, and you can have these mini mindful moments throughout your day, making it fun and ultimately reducing some of the behavioral challenges that we're seeing, allowing you to connect with yourself and allowing your children or the children around you to connect with themselves, which in turn creates this social connection. So much love to you all. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you more, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time today. Bye!